Howdy, everybody. Let me check a couple settings here real quick, and we will get after it. I need to do one thing here. There you go. All right, so I just muted the volume so we don't get any echo. And now we are, I don't know how well you're going to hear this, but we have some, hey, JJ, welcome in, buddy. We're starting to get some storms. I don't know if these are outer bands or what. Could be a little early for that, but we're getting some thunder and lightning and what have you. And just trying to deal with what's coming. So let me go back to StreamYard here. I don't always do the best reading these comments, but it's pretty easy when you only have one viewer. But just going to talk about a few things today. I'm going to just wait a little bit. Hopefully a few more people pop in. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the hurricane and what we can expect, should expect, how the course could change, why, it's going to be a strong storm. I can promise you that. But the last two hurricanes destroyed my life. Hey, Ken, what's up, buddy? And one of the topics I was going to talk about today, maybe I'll just expedite it and just talk about it right now, is my life has been so hectic and crazy lately that I feel like I've neglected to support some good channels like Lone Cowboy Adventures, even JJ Drones. I've been going to sleep earlier, trying to be well rested for work, and just when I have people around, I just isolate and just stay in the room I provided and just do my thing. So, Ken, I apologize for not following more of your content. JJ's, I have not watched as much as I usually do. I did watch his video last night. I was silently lurking in the background, and I started to watch a little bit of the replay today, and then I yelled squirrel, and then I went off to do some different projects. And so in case anybody doesn't know, that we have a pretty major hurricane coming into the Gulf of Mexico. And talk about ironic. Listen to this. About 6 years ago or so, we had Hurricane Irma, which was a Category 5 when it made landfall. And then last year, matter of fact, exactly 11 months ago, we had a Category 5 direct hit where I live, and that was Hurricane Ian, Category 5. See the commonality here? And now we have Idalia, or however you want to pronounce that. And she's gaining strength in the Gulf of Mexico. And I don't wish bad things on other people, but I've had enough bad times with the last two hurricanes. And it looks like it's going to be pretty powerful when it hits landfall. They're saying it's going to be up close to, like, I guess you would call it geographic. When I get up around that armpit of Florida, I guess it would be considered east of Tallahassee. Everybody's saying looks like it's going to be a direct hit on Cedar Key. I'm anticipating it's probably going to be at least a Category 4. I hope it's going to be less, but what happens is the Gulf water temperature is about 90 degrees right now, and that really stimulates a lot of storms and action. So hopefully that is not as severe as it could be. It could be. It's going to be pretty traumatic, and it looks like it's going to take a sharp right, kind of like up near, like, I guess it would be considered Jacksonville, skim across Georgia, that region there, and go out into the Atlantic. But the last Hurricane Ian was pretty much on the same trajectory, I guess you would say, the same path. And then all of a sudden it made a sharp right turn that nobody anticipated. Not any of the weather experts anticipated, and took a sharp right, and it just pummeled us head on and just destroyed my life and the lives of many, many other Lee and Collier County residents. I do want to suggest for anybody, this guy is really good. It's a guy on Facebook, and I highly encourage you, if you want to stay in tune to what's going on with this hurricane or other hurricanes or tropical storms, go to Facebook, and there's a page called Mike's Weather Page. Mike's Weather Page. He's located in Oldsmar, Florida, which is basically like a suburb of Tampa region. Really good. Very, very knowledgeable. Very, very dedicated to his craft. And I don't know how many followers he has, but it's probably 1 million if I had to guess. And he does a really good job. Really good job. So now let me. I'm going to cross off a couple things we've talked about briefly, and so I just started watching a short video of a channel that I really like. And the guy is really cool. He does excellent presentations when he's doing a video. I didn't even get a chance to finish watching the video, but I want to mix in a shout out while I'm jabber-jawing here today. And I hope you guys can, Ken and Jason and anybody else that watches the replay can go to Parabellum Fishing, Parabellum Fishing. He is at 951 subscribers. I've been following him for a while now. He does really good videos. When he sits down in his little studio, and like today's video is about how to add a hook keeper to a fishing rod. Does very well presented. He's a really cool dude. He's on the other coast of Florida, but really good channel, and he's closing in on 1K. So if we can help him out, that would be really cool. So personally on my analytics, let me see if I can pull this up here real quick. I'm not setting any records or anything on my analytics, but I do want to share them, see what people think. And give me 1 second here. I'm getting to the studio. Probably should have had this ready, right? Come on, G-Money. Get your act together. And of course, my computer is slow. All right, so analytics here. So tell me if any of these numbers sound okay, bad, or, I'm sure they could always be better. In the last 28 days, it's saying 7.4 thousand views. It says 1.3 thousand more than usual. Watch time hours, 112.9. That's 2.9 more than usual. Well, that's no big deal. I had 20 plus subscribers. That's in the last 28 days. And it says about the same as usual. That's generally what I've been averaging, anywhere from 20 to 28, depending on how much content I'm putting out. Now I'm going to go to the lifetime analytics, and my channel is at total views for the lifetime is 107,782 views thus far. So I'm kind of excited about that to a degree, based on all the hurdles and struggles I've had. And now I'm really working behind the scenes. A lot of people don't know this, but I have another channel that I'm trying to promote and get off the ground. I'm hell bent on doing it properly as much as possible. It's called at Gary Golden, and then it's going to be the G Money Podcast, at Gary Golden, the G Money Podcast. Matter of fact, I need to go look because it told me I had to wait 14 days before I could try and change that title. So I might be in that window where I could update that title of that channel. But if you can go to at Gary Golden, I'm only have like 9 subscribers at this time. I've talked to some people behind the scenes. I'm very excited about doing a wide variety of like podcast type interviews. I'm really excited about the G Money podcast at Gary Golden. So if you can do me a solid, spread the word somehow. If I can get some more subscribers, I really don't want to start doing any podcasts on that channel until I have approximately 20 or 25 subscribers. Then I'm going to start hitting it hard, and based on my availability around here, as long as I know other people's visitation schedules, so I can coordinate, so I can have silence. That would be really helpful. So since Jason Johnson's in here, and I had this in my notes, so I don't know if Jason's parked or driving, but can you give us an update on Rees Across America? Where you stand financially, if you've broken it down into how many Rees it is, where you stand currently, are you willing to share that? Can you share that? And if not, just give us an update later. I'm excited about that project for you, man. I think it's going to be. I think you're crushing your early goals. So I think that's going to be really cool. For anybody who does not know what Rees Across America is, they place wreaths at veteran cemeteries for fallen veterans, and almost every cemetery always comes up short on those. So Jason Johnson's way ahead of the game on what he has done in the past. So it's really encouraging to see so many people come together. A lot of people have had creative ideas on how to raise money for that cause. I need to make another $10 donation soon when I can for my 4th coaster. So I'm looking forward to that. And okay, when I'm just trying to talk about a few things, and then I'm going to get on, talk more about the hurricane and stuff that's in the title of this video. But obviously, I don't like having all these gray hairs, and excuse me, I was feeling really not energized yet. I need to give myself a self buzz, save $25. It may not look pretty, but if I keep a cap on, I can hide the ugliness. I just don't like having all the gray hairs. That's why I put the earmuffs on, just to hide a lot of that gray. And then out here on the lanai, there's a lot of like wall art stuff I need to start removing from the wall in case, it does take a right turn and it gets, I don't want stuff to be flying around through the screen or what have you. So nobody else is here. So I got to take the bull by the horn and get that done. So just a reminder to people, I think the people that are in here now, I know 2 of the people, and it looks like there's 4 people. I don't know who the other 2 people are. If you want to raise your hand and identify yourself, feel free to do so. But just reminding people, if you're going to subscribe to a channel, please watch, I think like a minute and a half minimum of their content. Try and make a comment, and subscribe and share is always helpful. So just those are some proper ways to do a proper subscribe to a channel. I mean, you can subscribe to a channel and still watch their content. It may not stick on their end. So to help them out, it would really help, like Parabellum Fishing. That would really help them. If you make a comment, even if you just go over and watch his video that he's doing today about adding a hook keeper, just say, hey, G Money from Jailbait and Tackle Outdoors sent me over. He highly recommends you, or anything like that. Just say, one of my famous lines that I do is, hello, I'm a new follower. I enjoy the content. I hope to watch more of your content in the future, something like that. Just, it makes them feel good. Plus it's a proper way to make that subscription stick and stay. One more thing, for anybody that's going to be watching that's in Florida, snook season is going to open up September 1st, which is right around the corner. I believe that is Friday. So there's different regulations based on where you're located. like on the east coast of Florida, I don't have the exact regulations in front of me, but I can tell you pretty much what the deal is. Uh, on the east coast of Florida, a snook has a slot limit. The minimum length is 28 inches, and the maximum length is 32 inches. That would be for the east coast of Florida, like the Atlantic side. On the Gulf side, where I'm located in Southwest Florida, the slot limit is 28 inches to 33 inches. And it does require a supplemental permit, which is a supplemental privilege to your saltwater license. So I want to make that clear. If you have a valid saltwater license, you need to purchase a snook permit, which I think is $10. Don't quote me on it. I'm pretty sure it's $10. Now, if you are, let's say, a senior citizen that is a Florida resident and you possess a Florida driver's license and you're exempt from needing a saltwater fishing license or a freshwater fishing license, you are also exempt from the supplemental privilege of needing to purchase a snook permit. It could be any supplemental privilege. If you're a senior citizen in the state of Florida possessing Florida driver's license that is in good standing, I need to clarify that. If you're a deadbeat father or something like that and you owe money to the government, you're not going to be considered in good standing. So just want to clarify that real quick. So now, as we, some of the things I talked about in the title was obviously hurricane. I'm going to bet my bottom dollar, which I don't have many of those, it's going to be a Category 4 minimum when it hits landfall around Cedar Key, if it stays on course. The problem with that storm, it's in that rotation where it's going to have storm surges all over the west coast of Florida. And Hurricane Ian wiped out 2 major roadways in Southwest Florida. That was 11 months ago. It wiped out the Sanibel Causeway, which there was one road in and out of Sanibel, and that was the causeway. It wiped that out. Due to some excellent work by Governor DeSantis, they were able to have a temporary roadway, a bridge replacement, I think 3 to 7 days. And the same thing in Matlacha, Florida. That's where I work currently. They're working very hard. I witness it almost every day when I go to work. But that roadway was also wiped out. There's a real low spot that when they replaced the roadway, it was like a temporary fix. So on Wednesday morning, when I'm supposed to go to work at 0600, high tide is around 4:30 a.m. Plus you include that storm surge, which now they're saying is going to be 2 to 6 feet. It could affect that roadway again. There's a good chance I will not be able to traverse that roadway. It's the only road in. On the other side of the drawbridge there, it's a little bit higher elevation. I would be okay if I was on that side. I don't know if I'm going to be able to work on Wednesday. So now talk a little bit about, my mom's health condition. She has dementia real bad. She's in pain every day. And she gets delusional just because her brain is that way. And then, she's on all these medications and she's struggling. I try and go up there every day. And I'm not going to lie, I do not hang out real long because it's so monotonous and repetitive. And I usually especially if I'm popping in after working all day, getting up at 4 and then get to her facility around 5 p.m. on average, I just can't. It's hard for me to deal with. So I did check in today and touch base with her and talk to the nurses and make sure everybody's good. And then she was having a rough day yesterday. She looked pretty bad yesterday. She looked really bad. She was very shaky, trembly and her brain plays tricks on her. And she was one of the nice nurses that I've noticed when I've been there. I God knows what happens when I leave. He's a large African-American male who's Haitian, and I like the guy. He's been really nice. And my mom was complaining, saying he was yelling at her, cursing at her. Or, I don't know if she said cursing, but basically yelling at her. And I hope this does not offend anybody. I'm gonna. Hello, Nora. Glad you're in here. I've been thinking about you lately. I'm gonna touch back. I'm gonna wrap around. Tell you why. But my mom's insisting that she doesn't have a problem with African Americans or whatever, but she was insistent that this guy was evil and mean to her and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's like, I don't know what happens when I'm not there. I wish we could have one of those spy cams or something like that. But when I've been there, he's been very nice, and obviously he's given her assistance. It was kind of tough to hear, when you hear that, you have to take into consideration that, your mother has dementia and she's, BS crazy. You don't know what's real or what's not real. But, we're all getting by the best we can, So I didn't like hearing that, especially when you're involved in another, race and trying to make, I don't want to call it insinuations, but you're making a statement that could be very offensive if it was not true or accurate. So, hello, Brandon's Outdoors Adventures. Appreciate you tuning in. And so anyway, Nora, I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos, just killing time, whatnot, and been watching a lot of scratch off videos. And I'm thinking of you. I watch all these people from all over the country doing different scratch offs. It kind of makes me think of you. I apologize. I said earlier, I have not watched a lot of content for other channels just because of my hectic life right now. So Nora, I apologize to you personally, and Brandon, I'll be checking your channel out soon. And I think I've pretty much jabberjawed everything I need to say. Working on, I had some real major concerns about my personal finances. I'm about to lose my legal entity in the state of Florida if I don't get that rectified by September 14th. And I have to pay a penalty for not filing my annual report before May 1st. I didn't have the money at the time. I couldn't do anything. Before May 1st, I was just trying to keep my credit in line. And I was advised today by the power attorney. We talked a little bit, like we had a little bit of a argument, tiff, whatever you want to call it. We're kind of got vocal, and he's touched the base because of the hurricane, and we had a little chit chat. So he says he's going to offer assistance. And then I also have a major problem coming up with my automobile insurance. It has to be rectified. The last day would be September 5th. So he said he'll help with that. So I don't know what they're going to cover, the full cost or whatever. If that could be done, it would be really helpful. But between the two, the one is $550. The other one's like $397. So it's a large chunk of money, but I will fail. I will fail at life if I cannot get those two things under control. Then if those things can be subdued, then I can hopefully attack all my other bills and get back on track. It's just, I'm the dog chasing its own tail every month, but it's a once a year deal. And here we are. I'm trying to get that rectified, but all right, folks. Well, I just wanted to say hi to everybody. Reminder to everybody, the new people. Hey, Nora and Brandon, there's a really cool channel out there that is closing in on 1,000 subscribers, and that is Parabellum Fishing. Parabellum Fishing. He's on the east coast of Florida. He's currently at 951. If you can help the dude out, I think his name's Joe, if I'm not mistaken. And just tell him G Money from Jailbait and Tackle Outdoors sent you. Watch some of his content. He does some good stuff. He's got a nice video out there. I need to continue watching for today. If you guys can share him out or talk about him, let's get him to 1,000 because he's really earned it. He's very well connected in the fishing community. Even if you're not into fishing, you can help out a good dude who does support a lot of people. So with that being said, folks, I'm going to tap out and remind you, always know your legal limits, and snook season is coming, folks. We coming. Snook season, we coming. Peace. Thank you.